Hi, I'm Scott Jensen, former Assembly Speaker.
And I'm Chuck Chvala, former Senate Majority Leader.
And we're the Insiders. Well, it's the summer of political conventions, Chuck. The Democrats in Wisconsin had theirs as virtual. The Republicans, kind of a hybrid. At the national level, poor Milwaukee, they've decided to make that a virtual convention as well. The Republicans at the national level will be at several places, it appears, or at least have a big rally in Jacksonville. So has the idea of political conventions passed? Are these obsolete? Will we continue to have political conventions in the future?
That's a good question. First of all, it's just so unfortunate that Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin will not reap the benefit of this. And I was pleased to see that there was a bipartisan support for that and making sure that we all reap the economic rewards throughout the state. And I feel for all the people who own hotels, all the people who work in hotels, all the restaurant people, all the great tips that would have been paid to servers and the celebrities they would have been able to see and would have told stories to their grandchildren about this. So it's a real loss. And I think there will be a time to reflect on that. But no, conventions are not passé. In fact, it's kind of interesting, even though we're in this digital world, I think what's happened is that conventions have become a time when the parties have the best opportunity to promote their brand. What's happening, because you have the 24/7 news cycle and you have things like CNN and MSNBC and Fox, they want that content. And so the great thing is you're going to get to hear all the different players out there that are not necessarily A-list folks. It's not going to just be the presidential nominees. So when you get that kind of opportunity to sell your brand, it's a great thing. And I think you're going to see these continue to be out there and even be more robust, especially for that maybe 3 or 4 hour cycle in the evening when they can pick up these news programs that are really only looking for a small slice of the market. And out of that, you'll get great opportunities. So I don't think that this will be the end of conventions. I think that they will spend the money to get them there because it's a brand thing. And by the way, think of it for a minute. Would either one of the parties want to say, well, we'll let the other guys have a convention and sell their brand and we won't? Not going to happen.
Chuck, I think that over the last couple decades, we've seen these conventions transform themselves from events where real decisions were made to events with no real drama. And it is a produced show, a branding opportunity, as you said, for each of the political parties. We haven't seen a vote for president decided on the floor of a convention in a long, long time. The vice presidential nominee is usually announced in advance of the convention nowadays. So there's not a whole lot of drama there. What is left is a big commercial that the party puts forward. And now without actual people in the audience, it'll be a completely scripted television show, unlike we've ever had before. I think both parties will do innovative things with that. But I do wonder, the parties will want to continue to spend money on these things in the future, but will the taxpayers want to spend money? We subsidize each of these conventions to the tune of $100 million from the federal taxpayers. And it's because they need security with all the people in town, all the other sort of things that go with it. But if people aren't gathering anywhere and there's no big security risks, I'm not sure that the taxpayer is going to be willing to continue to subsidize it. The one thing I think will be different is that the value of these conventions to the politicos is huge. They get a chance to gossip, to build relationships, to test out new issues, to see if somebody's going to be a real candidate in the future or not going to be a real candidate in the future. And they're going to miss all those sort of things. And it's just going to be a well-produced television show like all the other telethons we see.
But Scott, then there's the surprise. How did Barack Obama burst on the scene? He burst on the scene because of an amazing speech in front of the convention. My favorite candidate and the person who should be our nominee for president is Cecile Richards, daughter of Ann Richards, who gave a marvelous convention speech and would have done a great job if she had been a candidate. These are the things that conventions give an opportunity to. It's the up-and-comers who get to shine. And I think that if you cite nothing other than Barack Obama, people realize the value of these things because there can be a breakout moment. Oh yeah, there will be a lot of boring speeches, but CNN or somebody will be covering it. And I think that these things will continue to have their day. And in fact, I think that content is the thing. whether it's in politics or otherwise, this content is valuable and will continue to be valuable.
Well, there'll be one difference. So I agree that the speeches are really kind of important to future candidacies at these things. But before it mattered, could you get a crowd of 10, 20,000 people to come to their feet and roar the lines in your speech? The kind of speaking style you give to a crowd of 10, 20,000 people is very different than you give to a camera. You're going to get more of a Ronald Reagan type speaker who knows how to communicate through the camera, a Barack Obama who's very good at communicating through the camera,
I think the convention,
rather than a rally speaker like President Trump.
For that very reason, Scott, I think they'll continue with the conventions. Have you watched the late night talk shows? They're abysmal now because nobody reacts. There's no crowd.
No audience.
People want the shared experience of other people. Yeah, I thought that was great. Listen, there are 10,000 people cheering. The parties understand that. And if they want their Barack Obamas to come to the fore, the Cecile Richards to come to the fore, I'm trying to think, well, I can't think of Ted Cruz, but there's got to be some young person in your party as well. If they want those people, they need a convention. That's where I see it going.
All right. We'll see.
See you next time.